You just want to hop right into it right now?
Yeah,
I appreciate you coming on anyways. Okay.
that's
Yeah.
good.
So I know before we started working together, you were doing door to door, right?
Yeah, I was mainly just doing in-person things, kind of just face to face, nothing
Hmm.
online. So that was pretty new to me. I tried doing sales call before, but it just didn't lead to anything. It was pretty much just calling and calling, but just dead ends.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
What were you selling in door to door? Was it like pest control or what was it?
no, so it was kind of like I joined this company that basically they would do like internet and stuff like that. So kind of like varied.
Oh, right, right. Yeah.
Yeah, and then
Okay.
I've done a lot of jobs where it required me to do sales, but it was always in person. So I've
Hmm.
had like different experiences selling things. Just on call, which is something that I've untapped market for me.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I guess throughout your past sales experience, like through door to door, maybe doing some calls as well, what do you think was like the biggest struggle or the problems that you were kind of facing as a new salesperson?
I think that for every industry and every sales job, you're always gonna have a struggle, and I think that having someone that has had experience, especially doing different types of sales and kind of getting that guidance of a shortcut and like they've already kind of experienced a failure, so if someone
Hmm.
can like guide me to prevent that, it's going to make things a lot quicker.
Yeah, yeah. I think you were telling me too, when you were doing door to door, you had like kind of a mentor, like a manager that would kind of go to the knock the doors with you as well, right? Like basically a mentor.
Yeah, and that helped a lot, and I think that it's really important to have a mentor whatever you do, because it's really just going to help you like not fall into ditches and or like stay kind of stagnant in the level that you want to be at. So if you want to improve quicker, it's like I think it was very helpful that you were able to guide me and kind of like give me a guide map and just say like, oh, like this is what I started with, and like also, you did help a lot with making a map and like teaching you in a way that I could understand it,
Hmm.
and kind of just like learning my learning style to better teach me.
Yeah, because like you had a really different style of selling than I did, right? Like, I think it was a little more friendlier vibe. I think I was a little more direct. So, do you think maybe curating that training toward your personality or like how you learned to sell originally kind of helped you progress a little further or faster?
Yeah, definitely. It's whatever you do, every guide or whatever, like different point of view that you get is going to help you, learn something new. So
Yeah.
I feel like it's good to kind of get your point of view on how sales can be and how, because there's no right or wrong way to do it. But if you can see
Mhm.
someone else's, successful way, and then I can see my past experiences, good and bad, I can kind of put two and two together and make something new from what you've taught me. So I can like build
Yeah.
off of that.
Yeah, I remember we didn't even do that much training if I remember correctly. It was only like a couple hours, maybe like 3, 4 times a week. But it was like a period of like 2 to 4 weeks where I was like just training you. And
Yeah.
honestly, like that I think it was like one of the first people, like you were one of the first people I trained. But what specifically, I guess, what specific skills like in sales did you learn the most from my training? Like was it like handling objections? What it could be like a mental thing, like
Mm,
confidence, like
Definitely a mental thing was to start off, but also just kind of like getting straight to the point, because for me I was more of you know a lot of just like fluff, and then for
mhm.
you you're very direct. So I got to kind of like learn that side and just be like, all right, let's find out if this deal is good or not, and if not, let's just end it as soon as possible in a kindly manner.
Yeah, I think that was important because in the beginning, I remember you taking on some pretty shitty deals, but I'm
Yeah,
glad that you were able to like overcome
yeah.
that, I think. Do you think it was hard unlearning the side of like adding a little too much fluff and then getting a little more direct in your tone, or was it relatively like pretty straightforward?
It is pretty difficult to unlearn something you've kind of been doing for a while,
Hmm.
but I think that you helped me a lot because you're direct. You're like, all right, this is what you got to do. This is what you're doing wrong, This is
Mhm.
what helped me. Maybe give this a try, and then after a couple failures or like successes, you can see what worked, what didn't. So like
Yeah.
you kind of gave me the guide and the homework, and I was like, all right, let me do this on my own, and then I'll come back to you.
Yeah. I mean, it
Yeah,
also worked because you were committed to it too, right? Like you wanted to get better at sales, and I don't think it was just me doing it, but man, you also put in the work. So I mean, got to give yourself some credit there too, man.
appreciate it, man.
Yeah. But I remember. So your first deal, can you tell me a little bit more about that? Because that was absolutely crazy to me. It was after like
Mhm.
2, 3 weeks of training. First
Yeah,
deal, $1 million. How did you
yeah.
feel? Like, just take me through that.
So that one was really, really weird because I came back into the industry after being away for like maybe like 7, 8 months.
Mhm,
So I had some knowledge of it, but just not in sales. And
mhm.
then I managed to land a fix and flip in San Diego that was a total loan amount of 1.5
Yeah.
million. so
Insane,
so
man.
$1 million deal in less than a month, literally.
Insane,
Less
man.
than
I
30
think
days.
yeah, I mean, you got results faster than me. It took me, like, almost, like, 3, 4 months to do that, but,
Yeah.
what do you think helped you the most close that deal? Because like, getting the deal was one thing, right? But closing the
Mhm.
deal, obviously, it takes a lot more steps in the industry that you're in. So what do you
Mhm.
think was the aspect of my training that helped you out the most?
I think it was a guide of just getting like okay once you like kind of like so first there's different stages to it. It's like first locking it in,
Yeah.
and then not only locking it in but like making sure it actually like, falls through and like
Mhm,
what you need to do
mhm.
in that weird gray space because they say yes but you still gotta like wait for the money to actually close the deal. So
Yeah.
I think you guide me on that, and it's good to kind of have like a you were a mentor to me. You kind of told me what worked to get the sale and then to close the sale. So, you made me that map that really helped out.
Yeah, I mean, you're still killing it, bro. I'm excited to see, what comes after this, but I guess to end it off, what would you tell someone who's in the position that you were in when I first started training you, basically before getting into like the sales training with me?
I would say don't be closed-minded because it's always good to have someone that can point out, the things you do well, the things you do wrong, and even if your style of learning is different or your style of sales is different, it's good to have someone that is totally different that's going to help you. So
Yeah,
it's
man.
I think it's good to kind of put two minds together and see what comes out.
Yeah, I mean, I know you're gonna kill it, bro. I think I can just cut it here, bro. But
Mhm.
no, I do appreciate the kind words, bro. I mean, I'm
Yeah.
excited to see like where you go from here.